Hi folks, if you can subscribe, like, comment and all that good stuff, it'll help me out no end. This is a short video for can't remember, sorry. This is one of my problems, I have memory problems. So let me just help you understand. Every time I go to a track, I nearly have to relearn it. Every time. So if I just jump onto a track, but this one seems to stick in my head, so this is why I'm here. It's about traction. Different cars have different types of traction. If they have aerodynamics, it helps them force them down on the road, so therefore they have better traction. But you don't learn the basics of car control. So if you start with a light car with no grip, then you'll start to understand how the track works, how it starts to get to bed in due to a lot of cars going around. The rubber comes off the tyre because the aggression of the track. You can see the track there, and what happens is the rubber beds in, and then you use that rubber to aid your grip. So I'm just gonna, the trouble is this is also doing my telemetry. So I've left the steering wheel in place so you can see it. Now this one I'm going out on the tourist trophy, so this is like when you go to the Nürburgring on a track day. So I'll come back into this, it's not a full lap. So we'll go through here. Let me just, I need this a little bit different if you don't mind. Let me just move that over and pull that back there a bit so it's not in the way. As you can hear, the microphone's fighting me. Give over. That's a bit better. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me over the car. Let's have a look. I'll go there and I want to bring that in. I don't like things being the wrong size. So if I go down and then back out, that's better. It's not exactly right for me because I can't see right, but anyway. Yeah, it should do with traction, grip, how to find the grip, etc. as best as I can explain it anyway. Actually, I'll go back to that. Up here you've got ABS settings, that's set on 2. What that does is when you go to maximum braking, the car then, when it locks up the front tyres, which stop the front tyres rotation, as soon as it feels them lock up, it releases them. Then it locks up, releases, locks up, releases. Now that's all good to say it's stopping you from sliding off on a corner. It doesn't completely. But the problem with having ABS on is you start to trust it and you start to want it all the time. But that's not aiding you on your foot and your feeling and the muscle memory in your leg, understanding your leg, understanding when your car's going to stop hitting ABS. Traction control, TC, when you're going around a corner, if you're going around it really fast and you've got your foot right on the throttle, what will happen is as soon as it starts to slip, it'll stop the back wheels a second from getting power, so it comes in and out just like ABS, but instead of on braking and slowing down, it's to stop the back wheels from spinning up.
Pit lane speed limit is 25 miles per hour.
So we're just gonna, let me just, right, tyre pressures. Tyre pressures also aid and don't aid grip. So what you've got at the moment, I'm on a dry tyre because it's a dry track. Obviously a wet track would require rain tyres. With a dry track, what happens is you've got your PSI level, your pressure of your air in your tyres. I know this is probably basic for some people, but it isn't for others. So as you go down the track, there's friction between the road and the tyre. That friction creates heat. When the heat starts building in the tyre, what it does is expands the air, because the air inside the tyre is now getting hot. So everything to do with heat tends to expand. Everything to do with cold tends to contract. So the more air you have in the tyre and the more heat you get in the tyre, the harder the tyre becomes. So the harder the tyre, the less grip you get. But don't think that if you take all the air out the tyre, it works, because it disforms the tyre. So here's the tyre. Right. The tyre shape is that. This is the bottom, what touches the road. So the hotter the tyre becomes, the rounder it becomes. So hopefully you can see now, this curvature here, you're only getting this bit on the road. If it was the correct temperature and it was flat, you'd be getting the full amount on the road. If you've got less air in the tyre and it's not hot, it'll concave. I'm sure that's right, concave. It'll start pulling itself in. So what you end up with is wearing on the two outside surfaces, so you're not using all the tyre. So if you're not using all the tyre, you're not getting your maximum grip. So I'm on pit limiter at the moment. I think it's okay to do a track day. I think that would be the best way to do it. I didn't even know we had this.
Pit exit's clear, push.
So the first problem a lot of people have is going into a corner, sliding out, don't understand why they've just gone out of a corner. I'm going to have to listen to this back actually, see if this, I can hear myself. So I'm going down here, I'm braking early. Now why am I doing that? Because you get more speed coming out of a corner if you get it correct. Right, we've got a couple of corners which are typically bad for most people. So the first corner, it curves down. We'll just have a look at it. It curves down and to the left. So we're keeping to the right, but we're braking early because what we want to do is hit that apex just there, and that'll bring you out to the outside. Now, if you come too fast into the corner, if you get a piece of string and attach a little ball to the end of it and put it inside a car, I know it sounds weird, but just do this. Just to ask your mum and dad, or put it in your own car, just hang it from the interior mirror, if you've got one nowadays. Just hang it off that. When you go around the corner, you'll see that the gravity will send it out, because as you go around the corner, the G-force will push it towards the outer of the bend. The faster you go around the corner, the more this will push it out. So when you come into a corner too fast, you will get pushed out to the outside of the track. So your entry speed is very important. So as we come down here, these corners are not very extreme. But this one, a lot of people come into this and end up going really, really wide and end up hitting that barrier. Your entry speed is more important than your exit speed. Your entry speed will create more exit speed. Here's another one. So people come into this way too fast, and they find as soon as they touch the brakes here, they slide all the way down and hit the barriers. I'm going to get told off for this. You watch me get a black flag. I'm going to see if I can do this. It will tell me off in a minute. I'm going backwards. Maybe it won't. A little bit further. Not letting me off. Not telling me off, that's good. Right. So, we're going to sit here and just have a look at the track. So, we need to be on the right hand side as we come in because it's a left hand bend. So you need to use as much track as you possibly can. So as you come into this corner, you need to brake heavily before the corner. Let the brakes off as you go round the corner. Brake while you're straight. If you're braking while you're going round a corner, not only is the car got to deal with the braking of the car and the pressure on the tyres, but if you're going round a corner and braking, it's also having to deal with the gravity which is trying to send the car out of shape and to the side, the outer side of the corner. So as you come down here, I'm going to do this slowly for you. You brake heavily here, aim for the apex, let the brakes off because you're turning, reapply the brakes, let the brakes off again, and use the inside curve. Why would you use the inside curve? So I should be using my mirrors really, shouldn't I? But I haven't got them set. Let me just scratch the car a little bit. Let me just go on the track, hang on. Right. We're just going to look at this corner here. So you can see the curb which is marked in red and white and the outer track. Now you're after going up to the curb. A lot of the times the curbs will not help you depending on the car, but if you notice the angle of the track, it's like being on look up a wall of death. They go round because gravity sticks it to it. Now because of the drop in the curb just there, so as you come up to this, we're after aiming for that part there. If you go to the outside, you've got number one, very little runoff to compensate yourself, but number two, the angle of the track is helping you stay into that curve. Now if you look ahead of yourself, because you should always look as far as you possibly can, the next part isn't to the left, it's turning right, and the track drops down again. So you want to be braking at that place there, and this is I'm straight, and when you get to about here you want to be letting off the brakes, keeping to the inside because of the curve of the corner and also the drop of the corner. Keeping there again. Again, look, you can see the curb and the track drops down. This is an awkward bit of track. I will do this quicker in a minute. Again, every time you go around the corner, you shouldn't be on your brakes. Brake on the straight, let off. I know it seems a pain. And then down here again, over to the left, heavy braking. A lot of people slide off here because they're just going too fast. I know it sounds really stupid, but if you can practice and do a slower speed initially. Straight bit so I can get a foot down here. once again we're coming up to another part of the track. There's no point, let me just stop here a minute. This is something else that bugs me. Fastest way around the track is your shortest possible distance. So when you got on this corner, and just back up. This isn't a sharp corner, so there's no need to go to the outside of the bend. So as you come up to it, you're keeping, again look, you can see that it dips down to the right. You want to be on the right hand side, just next to the barriers. This is the shortest possible distance round this corner. It's not a particularly bad corner. Now you're coming up to what's called a double apex. So as you come over here, the double apex starts here. Now what you want to be doing is, once again, if you look at the track now is not flat, it's like this. So if you're on the outside and your car's leaning that way, it's easier to slide out. If you sat on the top, 50-50, depending on the car. If it's got good downforce, it should be able to stay there, but if it's a standard car, it won't. So on the right hand side, it drops down. So we're after hitting the apex, which is just, do you see that writing just down there, that love heart? You're going to be hitting that love heart just there, and what that'll do, that'll help your car pull it round. This is aiding your traction. Obviously if you come round here flat out, I think you can in this car, we'll try in a minute, and what that'll do, let me just go back a sec. So in real time and real speed, this will help you hook your car into that corner. It will drift about there, and then you're after hitting that again. You can see there's a curve in the track. So this is a normal fast bit anyway. You shouldn't really lose it here. Again, your entry speed is more important than your exit speed. Your entry speed will create your exit speed. So as we come up over here, now a lot of people fly really, really wide and over in the barriers. And that's because they're here. That's no good to man the beast. Back up a little bit. So when you come over here, to start with, slow down, don't forget, don't brake while you're cornering. So you want to be right on these curve edges. And there's a line just there, I think you saw it. And that's where you want to be starting to brake heavily. So you start braking heavy there, I'm not going quick enough at the moment. And then before, as you get to the corner, let off the brakes, go down the gears will help you, and you want to be kissing that curve and then drifting out. A lot of it, your grip is all to do with the speed of your car and where you are in the track. But your entry speed is more important than your exit speed initially. And don't forget, look, I'm braking on the straight, I let my brakes off, I can reapply my brakes, I can take my brakes off, and I'm after getting to the apex, which is the point where you're coming into a corner and coming out of a corner. coming into a corner, coming out of a corner. I know this is going to sound really boring to a lot of people, I do apologise, but if it's helpful for some, the main thing is, what you want to do, if you're on iRacing, or anything else, go on a practice session and do it slowly first. Look, I'm trying to keep in tight. Again, that's another corner. You go into it too fast, you'll go out to the outside, you will lose grip. But this one's another good one. You need to slow down initially. You won't get round it if you're going too fast. Brake hard, let the brakes off, let the car turn. Again, brake while you're going straight. So I'll brake heavily here, then I'll release the brakes, and if I need to brake again, I'll brake when I'm straight. Then I'll release the brakes, and I can get around here. Now this is a bad corner, but it's only because you're going too fast. So you brake heavily, release, brake heavily, release. If you brake it, a lot of people lose traction because they're braking on a corner. So down here, I'll start speeding up now. So I'm braking heavily and I release. Now there is trail braking, I'm not going to get into that in a minute. So brake hard, release. That's the main thing. You need to be braking. Let me just go back through them bits and I'll say what I'm doing. Right, no, don't want to start there. I want to start right at the beginning. Right. So we're going to do them sections, but we're going to do it in real time. So always brake when the car is straight. When you go to enter the corner, you should be off the brakes. Your gears will obviously go.
Exit's clear, don't cross the white line.
So I'll talk you through these.
Cold tyres all round.
When they say cold tyres, it means that the rubber hasn't come up to its diesel level. So as we come into here, we don't need to brake yet. We're going to the apexes, now we're starting to brake. This isn't obviously full race speed. You can hear the tyres just starting to lose adhesion. I'm braking on the straight, I'm releasing. So as you come down to this tricky one, brake hard to start with. I've released my brakes, so the car hasn't got too much to deal with. All it's dealing with is trying to steer itself around the corner. I've gone to the now here's that awkward one. So I'm going to brake heavily now, off the brakes, back on the brakes, off the brakes. This corner, I'm going to brake, quick dab, off. Sometimes you have to dab it there, but I'm not going quick enough yet. Brake heavily, off the brakes. Apex, apex. You don't have to go flat out straight away when you learn. That's the biggest mistake a lot of people make. So as we come up here over the brown, I'm not going to brake. No need to if you're in the right position. Look, apex, apex. See, I didn't need to change my steering. I didn't need to brake. It's all down to road.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Thanks, Bob. So this one down here, which a lot of people fly off, I have got cold tyres. So I'm going to take my foot off the roll, quick dab on the brake. I'm going to keep to the... Right, there's that line. 1, 2, 3. I can feel the car squirming. Keep to the apex and then accelerate out of the corner. So we're going to go all the way up to that last corner that I showed you. We're flat out down here. Now a lot of people brake early here. That's fine. You brake, let off. Brake, let off. You can hear the tyres. hear the tyres squirming. So again, if you're braking on the straight, it puts less stress through the car. We'll get on to wet tracks and all the rest of it at some other time. It's going to be quite a long video. So braking, off the brakes, so I can get round the corner. Braking heavy, off the brakes, so I can get round the corner. Braking heavy, off again, and after that apex is there. Back out to the outside of the track. Round here, now for brake, it'll be in the straight, and then I can turn in. So again, brake heavy, brake heavy. Don't forget, when you start turning, you should be going at the right speed to be able to turn without sliding.
The track temperature is increasing. It's now 109 Fahrenheit.
Heavy, off the brakes. Send them off the brakes and back onto the power again. Brakes off. So I'm braking, then I'm off the brakes. Now there's a good double apex up here. Double apexes are really important to get right because you might get the first one wrong. So I'm braking hard on the straight, turning in, and then I can power out of the corner just as the apex finishes. So as that curve you're touching the edge, look, I'm doing the shortest possible distance of the track. If you go to the outside out here, think about it, it's further. If you get a circle, if you go to the centre, just off the centre it's a little tiny circle. If you go to the outside it's a big long circle. So why do all that distance? So this is another one. You have to hit in that apex. There's no problem with just going out and doing a slow lap in practice. It might feel wrong, but if you do it slowly and I'm braking on the straight, down the gears, I'm off the brakes, and back onto the power. Off the brakes. So we've got a couple of corners coming up which are quite sharp, really. Your gears will help you. You've got to remember your gears are another braking system for you. So I've come off the brakes, off, gone down a gear. The brakes are connected to your back axle. So what you're doing, you're only braking with the rear of your car, not both wheels, front and back. So it'll help you turn the front slightly. Braking on the straights. There's another one. Brake heavily, down a gear and then off the brakes. If you're going into the corner and I brake here, do you see how the car got out of shape? It's because I'm trying to turn and brake all at the same time. The car doesn't like it. I'll show you that again. I'm going to here, I'm going to brake late. Look. I'm braking and the car is sliding out. If I brake while I'm in a straight line, it won't do that. So you gain more traction when you're coming out of the corner because the car is not out of shape. Here's one where a lot of people go out, braking on the straight, and I've got off the brakes. It all comes down, traction all comes down to your entry speed. If you're entering a corner way too fast, then there's no hope you're going to get around it. So it's alright thinking you're the top Hamilton or Verstappen this is another walking wrong. So you brake heavy, get close to the inside, brake heavy, off the brakes. Brake heavy, off the brakes, get to that inside, it'll help you pull you round. Like this one, you can see the corners, it drops to the right. So use that to your advantage. There. There's no point in going around a corner flat out if the car can't do it. All you end up doing is kissing the barrier, getting safety point loss. And you wreck your car, you end up in the pits.
21.811.
Now, up at the top,
Look out for the pit speed limit.
you can see my speed. Next to it is, that's my throttle. You can see it green. That's my brake. We're not going to use the clutch. So, that's my throttle. You can see it on the top, just along the top next to my mirror. And you see my steering wheel. So we're going to go out again.
You're all clear. Stay behind the line.
Right. So at the minute my foot's right down, you can see that. Green. Red one will be my brake. If you watch, I'll brake on the straights. So I'll brake when I'm straight. And then I'll take my foot off. So again, I'll brake heavily when I'm on straight, I'll let it off. And don't just jam my foot on the throttle. Some corners, it won't help you. I've got too much. So, watch that red line. Braking there, off. Braking there, off. I'm not absolutely flat out now, because there's no point. That was me fucking changing my force feedback, sorry. Right, that's better. So I'll brake heavy, and then it'll come off. As I turn, I will release my brake. Like I say, I'll get into trail braking at some of the time if you want to know about that. I think it'll be quite important for you. But learning a track isn't trying to do the fastest lap on the first lap, full stop. If I can get that apex right, look, I don't need to take my foot off that throttle. Shortest possible journey. That's what you want to be doing. Your lap wants to be the shortest distance. So as I come up to this one, I'm going to take my foot off. Brake at the line. Down, down. Off the brakes as they go into the corner. So as we come down this hill, gaining momentum, gaining speed. If you want to subscribe, like and comment if you find this at all helpful. So as I come up here, I'll brake on the straight then release. Brake on the straight, release. Brake while I'm straight, then I release. Once again, if you go into your first corner too fast, it's going to upset your car and you're going to be in the wrong position for all the rest of the corners. So it's very important to take your time. So keep close, a little bit off. I'm braking heavy, down the gear, but I am off the brake as I enter the corner. braking heavy, off. And then I can really put the power on as I come around the corner. So, I'm too fast for this corner, I know I am. So I'll brake, I'll come off it, pull the inside, but I'm not on them curves. So I'm hitting the brakes hard, off, off. That was a little bit of trail braking. Not getting into that in a minute. So we're going to go hard on the brakes, off the brakes, turn in. Off the throttle. I'm bugging the apex. If you get it right, it'll improve your lap times no end. So let's get a pedal on. I picked this GT87, 86 or 87 Toyota. Right, brake heavy, off. I know it's a slower car. Everybody wants to drive fast, I know that. But if you don't understand the tracks and you don't understand your car, I'm going to help you. Like with this going up here, there's no point in me changing into 6th gear because the car won't pull it. It'll go slower. So I'm going out to the outside, I'm going to go to the apex, hug it. If you notice my steering wheel, I'm not doing this with it. I'm just after following the line. I'm not after yucking it about. So while I'm on the straight, I'm braking. I've let the brakes off, hugging the apex. Send me a little bit out there, but I can pull it back. Again, go out and practice, but don't practice it like silly speeds. Once again, as soon as you came into this, I let the brakes off. So coming up to here, we're going to kiss the apex, which will help us pull us round. Off the throttle. Apex. Apex. Brake on the straight, off. I know it sounds really silly, just take your time on us, go round, brake off. I only touched it. So again, brake hard, off. Brake hard, down the gear, off again. As soon as I brake, then I'm off. Off the brakes, going into the corner. Trying to set yourself up. Look, I'm off this time. You see the difference? The last time we braked on the corner, we went wide, brake hard, off. Aim for that inside. That's a hard corner to get right. Well, to be honest, the Nürburgring's pretty hard work anyway. So into the apex. Again, I'm trying to do the shortest distance I can. I'm braking there, but I'm off the brakes now. And you can nearly get straight back on the power if you've slowed down enough. It's just getting the knack of how much you might slow down too much initially, but honestly, just go and try it and go slowly into the corners and then excel. Once you've found the apex, I will do another video about apexes. See, I went wide there because I went too fast. Now, I didn't lose the car because once the car had straightened up, I braked. Off the throttle, but I'm aiming for that apex again. Not throwing the steering wheel all over the place. I'm not trying to be really aggressive with it. That apex will help you pull you around. A lot of them do. But if you go into the corner too fast, nothing will help you.
5.281.
That was your fastest lap of the session. You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
Right, we're going to pull in here.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
We're going to call that, because that's long enough for a video, I think. So yeah, your entry speed into a corner is far more important.
Left front 96%, left rear 98.
Your entry speed is far more important. It'll create a good exit speed. So if you go into the corner too hard and too fast, it'll push you to the outside of the corner. Try that string and a ball. Just put it in your car or a car, just say, is it alright if I can just do this? It's just to show gravity. So hang it on there. When you go round a roundabout, you'll see it swing. Or if you're in America, you don't have very many roundabouts. So if you're going round a corner, you'll see it swing.
That's it, go!
So you'll see it swing to the outside of the corner. That is where the weight of your car is being sent. So if you're braking, that's increasing that. So it's sending it towards the barriers. So we'll get onto the road and where the best place to, as in, get your grip from. If all the cars, the fast cars, what are in front of you, are taking this line that I'm explaining, they'll all lay a bit of their tyre rubber on the floor. So that means when you go round it, you're also gaining that extra grip. So it'll increase your speed of your lap. So if you found this at all helpful, or if you found it confusing, please comment below. But yes, your entry speed is more important than your exit speed. Your entry speed will create your exit speed. So just don't go out and try to break a lap record. Just go round at a steady, slow speed. This is how I learnt with a motorbike on the track. My mate told me to do this. I thought he'd lost his marbles. I wanted to go fast, but I soon found that his way was a far faster learning process. So I hope you will. So take your time round the track. Don't try to break track records. Just try to get the braking right and the turning in right. Because as soon as you can get it turned in, you can get the power on. So the sooner you can get your right foot down to that carpet, then you're accelerating a lot harder. It's no good going into a corner too fast and you end up losing half the corner, sliding out, going out to nearly the barrier, and you're just wasting time. So if you find this at all helpful, if you found it confusing, please tell me, because I sometimes am very confusing. But subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. That'll help me out no end. If this has helped you, tell me below. If it hasn't, tell me why it hasn't. And then I might be able to understand how I can change things to help you understand in your way. Okay? So yeah. So just tell me down below sort of what you find helpful, what you don't find helpful, etc. Then I can change it and tweak it to try to help you out. Okay, bud? Don't forget, exams were important. Thank you very much for doing the right thing. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Cheers, buddy.